So let's get started here. So hello everyone and welcome to the Metabolic Pathways to Vascular Health. So I'm Maurice and I'm super very excited actually to see many of you joining and more are coming. And today who are interested in protecting your cardiovascular system naturally, pretty much that's what we'll be focusing on. So a quick poll in the chat. So type 1 if you or someone close to you has been concerned about cardiovascular health, or 2 if you're mainly for preventive knowledge. I'd love to know who I'm talking with today. So if you guys get a chance to put it in the chat, would be excellent. Perfect. Roy, Alvin, Nia. So, so whether you're dealing with existing concerns or focus on prevention, so the information we'll cover today could be truly transformative. Now, before I start, let me share something personal. See, a few years ago, I was working with patients who were constantly being told their only options for carotid artery blockages were medications or surgery. See, many were scared, confused, and looking for alternatives. So that's when I began researching natural approaches to vascular health and discovered the science we're going to discuss today. And what I found was a scientifically validated process that can actually help clean your arteries naturally, something many doctors aren't even aware exists. So today, I'll share what real clinical research shows about supporting your vascular system at the cellular level. So let's start with a simple understanding of what's happening inside your arteries. See, your carotid arteries are the major blood vessels in your neck that supply blood to your brain. When these arteries develop plaque, a buildup of, let's say, oxidized fats and cholesterol and other substances, blood flow becomes restricted. So think about your arteries like the pipes in your home. Over time, they can get clogged with buildup that narrows the opening. And this narrowing or stenosis can actually reduce blood flow to your brain and, of course, increase your risk of stroke. And doctors typically measure carotid stenosis by the percentage of blockage. So you have um, under 50% stenosis is considered mild, 50 to 69% is moderate, and over 70% is severe. So moderate to severe cases have been treated with medications like statins or surgical procedures like carotid endarterectomy, where they physically open the artery and remove the plaque, but again, not very successful, and medications do not address the root cause. But here, what most people don't really realize, arterial plaque isn't just about cholesterol. In fact, research shows it's primarily driven by inflammation in the arterial walls, oxidative damage to cholesterol particles, immune system responses to this damage. So this is why focusing on cholesterol numbers alone often misses the bigger picture. And many people with normal cholesterol level still develop plaque, while others with elevated cholesterol never do. So here's a quick question for everyone. Has your doctor ever talked to you about inflammation markers when discussing heart health? Type yes or no in the chat if you get a chance. Never, never, yes. Interesting. See, research suggests inflammation markers like HSCRP, C-reactive protein, can actually predict cardiovascular events even better than cholesterol levels in all cases. This represents a major shift in our understanding of arterial health. Now, let's talk about what's happening at the metabolic level when plaque forms. There are several key factors that actually contribute to this process. First, you have oxidative stress. So this occurs when there's an imbalance between free radicals, which damage the cells, and antioxidants, which protect cells. So when LDL cholesterol becomes oxidized, it triggers inflammation in the arterial walls. Second, metabolic dysfunction at the cellular level. Our cells have specific ways they process nutrients and produce energy. When these pathways are disrupted, it can actually lead to increased inflammation and plaque formation. And third, enzymatic imbalances. The enzymes are proteins that facilitate biochemical reactions in your body. When certain enzymes are overactive or underactive, it can actually contribute to the plaque building process. So now, here's where it gets really interesting. So the type of carbohydrates you consume makes a huge difference in these processes. So simple sugars, like those found in processed foods, sweets, and even many healthy foods, can rapidly increase inflammation and oxidative stress. They're quickly absorbed, spike blood sugar, and can directly contribute to arterial damage. In contrast, see certain complex compounds called enzymatic substrates work differently. Unlike simple sugars, so these specialized molecules don't spike blood sugar and actually support proper enzymatic function in your cells. So the key isn't just reducing sugar, it's providing your body with the right metabolic substrate to support healthy cellular function and reduce plaque forming processes. So let me check with everyone again. So type clear in the chat if you're following the science so far, or more info if I need to clarify anything before moving on. Perfect. So let's move on. So now let's talk about the research that changed my perspective on vascular health. See, in 2014, researchers conducted a clinical study looking at a natural approach to carotid plaque reduction. This wasn't just a theory study, it actually involved real patients with moderate carotid stenosis between 40 to 70% blockage who were at risk for serious cardiovascular events. Now, the kind of patients who would typically be candidates for surgical interventions if their conditions worsened. Now, here's what they did. 20 patients with confirmed carotid plaques were divided into two groups. The test group received a specific combination of enzymatic substrate supplements daily for 5 months. The control group received standard care but no supplements, and all patients had their carotid arteries measured monthly by ultrasound. So the results were actually amazing. After 5 months, we've seen 100% of patients in the supplement group showed plaque regression. The reduction ranged from 4% to 27% decrease in plaque size. 40% of treated patients achieved approximately 18% plaque reduction, and one patient showed an incredible 27% reduction in plaque size. So meanwhile, the control group showed no improvement at all. This is significant because carotid plaque typically remains stable or continues to grow over time. It rarely shrinks on its own. So what makes this so exciting is that these results were achieved without medications, without surgical procedures, with no side effects, while maintaining normal cholesterol and blood sugar levels. So by supporting the right metabolic pathways, the body can actually begin to clear arterial plaque naturally. So something previously thought to be very difficult without medical intervention. So here's a question for you. Before today, had you ever heard the arterial plaque could potentially be reduced naturally? Type yes or no in the chat. I'm not surprised by some of these answers. See, this information isn't widely known, even among many healthcare providers. So, what exactly were these supplements that achieved these impressive results? So, the study used a combination of two products called Cyrozim and Propulzim, which contain specialized enzymatic substrate. Now, unlike simple nutritional supplements, these formulations work through a process called sequential enzymatic conversion. So here's what makes them different. See, standard supplements typically provide basic nutrients that your body then has to process. See, enzymatic substrates, however, are more like specialized, think of it as keys that fit into very specific locks in your cellular machinery. For example, look at the difference between simple sugar like a glucose and an enzymatic substrate like a glucose 6 phosphate. While they appear similar, the enzymatic substrate has a completely different three-dimensional structure and specific charge distribution that interacts with your cells in unique ways. So these enzymatic substrates support several key processes. They help neutralize oxidative stress that damages arterial walls. They actually support proper immune function to reduce unnecessary inflammation. They provide metabolic support for healthy cellular energy production, and they help optimize enzymatic pathways involving in repairing tissue damage. So the formulation contains several important components. So you have an acetyl-L-cysteine, short for NAC. It's a powerful antioxidant that helps prevent LDL oxidation. You have specific B vitamins, which reduce homocysteine, a compound linked to arterial damage. You have glutamic acid, which decreases lipid peroxidation, fat damage in the blood vessels. And you have calcium carbonate and citric acid, which influence lipid profiles and arterial health. So together, these create a multi-target approach that addresses the root causes of plaque formation rather than just treating symptoms. So the beauty is that this isn't a pharmaceutical approach, it's supporting your body's natural processes to maintain arterial health. So that said, let me quickly check in. So type fascinating if you're finding this information valuable, or confused if any part needs clarification. Okay, I'm just gonna break it a little bit more further for you guys so we can kind of get a better understanding. So when I say these ingredients work together in a multi-targeted approach, so let me explain what that really means for your audience. So think of plaque formation like a house being built with multiple workers. Stopping just one worker doesn't prevent the house from being built. See, NAC works like a shield, preventing your LDL cholesterol from becoming rusty or oxidized, which is the first step in plaque formation. The B vitamins, particularly B6, B12, and folate, clear away homocysteine, a damaging amino acid that actually acts like a corrosive acid on your arterial walls, making them vulnerable to plaque buildup. And when your homocysteine levels drop, your arteries begin healing. See, glutamic acid protects the fats in your bloodstream from oxidative damage, keeping them from becoming the sticky substances that adhere to arterial walls. So meanwhile, the calcium carbonate and citric acid combination, they create a mildly alkalizing effect that help normalize your blood chemistry, making it less likely for cholesterol to deposit in the first place. So unlike medication that typically block a single pathway, like statins blocking cholesterol production, for example, these ingredients support your body's existing repair system, like giving your internal cleanup crew the right tools to remove plaque that already formed while preventing a new buildup. So let's talk about practical applications. So based on the clinical research and experience with hundreds of patients, I've developed a structured 5 months protocol to support vascular health and potentially reduce arterial plaque. So the protocol has three main phases. You got preparation phase, so it goes from days 1 to 10. So this phase prepares your body by gradually introducing the enzymatic substrate to ensure optimal tolerance. Number two, which is the active support phase, that usually goes between days 11 to 120. This is where we implement the full therapeutic doses shown effective in clinical research. And then we have the maintenance phase, which goes from 121 to 150 plus. Now, this phase considerates benefits and transitions to long-term support strategy. And once you decide on trying the product for at least 5 months, I will definitely send you a full protocol to follow. So if you get a chance to input your name in the chat, therefore I will email you a full protocol to get started if you want to go ahead and give this a shot. Now, um, just to kind of give a quick summary what we've covered today. I know I like to do a lot of these webinars nice and short and precise, and I like to kind of focus quite a bit on a Q&A. So what we've covered today was mostly arterial plaque is driven by inflammation and oxidative processes, not just cholesterol. Enzymatic substrate can support your body's natural plaque clearing mechanisms. Clinical research that demonstrated measurable plaque reduction in as little as 5 months. And a structured protocol can help you implement this approach effectively. So I truly believe this information has the potential to transform how we approach vascular health. We have the ability to address arterial plaque at its root causes, represents one of the most exciting developments, I believe, in cardiovascular wellness. So before we move into Q&A, I have one final question for you. What is your biggest, let's say, takeaway from today's presentation? Please share in the chat if you get a chance. Awesome. There's a lot of good information there been published and on the chat. Again, guys, I wanted to actually thank everyone for engaging today. I'm excited to see results. If you are going to implement this strategy, definitely would love to follow up one-on-one with each one of you to see how much volume and how fast we can reduce some of these plaque formation. And I know there's many other products out there, and you know me for a fact, most of you, that I like to follow up with everything and make sure the protocols are working to your benefits. And yes, there is options out there than just pharmaceuticals. Pharmaceuticals will always gonna address the symptoms. We're going fully 100% naturally, and definitely we can reduce a lot of these issues that we're experiencing. So that said, let's move on to the Q&A, and I'll wait for you guys' questions. I'll more than happy to answer them. Alvin, I want to try this one. Sorry, I'm just gonna write everybody's name as well too that they're looking to want to try it, just so I can send you the information. So we have Alvin. Thanks so much for putting that out there. Um, Chris, I'll send you an information as well too in regards to the pricing of the product. Keep in mind now these two products, based on the 5 months protocol, we could possibly be using anywhere between, I believe, based on the protocol in the 5 months, roughly about 12 different bottles. So I'll get you that information. Can it be applied to other arteries too, like carotid? It does, yes, you could. That's great. Webinar and info. Send more. Um, uh, you guys, when I sent you the email to sign in under my name, it's only showing up my name or showing Angelo. So if you don't mind putting your name, whoever used my own link to log into the webinar would be great, just so I know who am I speaking with. Would be excellent. Can you take this while using Repatha? Yes, it does not conflict with Repatha at all. And again, I'm not sure who's Marcus. Okay, Marcus. Thank you. Nico sounds good. Sorry guys, because it's actually showing up here under my name or others, just because we all shared the same link. For some reason, some of you guys didn't get the link. But if you guys go ahead and continue asking me some questions, more than happy to answer. Chris, thank you. And based on the information, I'll send you guys the price and the protocol by email, and this way it gives you an idea how's everything is working and cost wise and how to follow the protocol correctly. Can it apply to the heart arteries? Well, you know, whenever we talk about arteries, we're talking from head to toe. So if there's a blockage in the carotid arteries, they're going to be actually blockage in your heart. They're going to be blockage even in your legs, so anywhere. So yes, it is going to actually go after pretty much any artery that is actually blocked. The study was done in the carotid arteries. I'm sure it is going to lower as well your arterial system. And on top of that, I'm already doing the protocol myself as well too. Can you do both Cavadix protocol and this protocol? Yes, you could. 100% you could. There's no confliction in between. Well, it's not whether why not Cavadix. Now I know this is totally something different than Cavadix. Cavadix addresses certain things with a cyclodextrin product that goes in there and goes after soft plaque and others. And so far, based on a product that I spoke about probably almost back in August when we started this, so I've had few patients where, and I've done recent videos where their aorta from a narrowing of, I believe was 1.2 went up to 2.1 after 11 months of usage. So yes, you can definitely use Cavadix and you can definitely use this, but the only difference is Cavadix as a cyclodextrin goes after to repair, let's say, soft plaque or remove certain amount of calcification, while these enzymatic substrate, they'll actually go back and allow the body to actually go back to its original root and actually heal it from the main root instead of just forcing other things to be removed. So yes, you can actually take both even. You can take the Cavadix and you can take the substrate supplement. What happens with the protocol after the 5 months period? Well, the only reason the study was done on 5 months and they've showed us how much plaque percentage we were able to lower. Now, I'm not sure, like say, for example, if you have 50% stenosis or 50% blockage and you end up using the product for 5 months, and in 5 months you end up getting, let's say, ultrasound, or you end up getting the CIMT testing, and it showed, okay, it dropped down to 33% or 40%. Why not continue? You can continue till you actually bring it down to even zero. So this was only a study that was done in 5 months. So after that, if you want to continue with it, by all means, go for it. For me, myself, if I have the carotid stenosis and I'm actually doing the product for 5 months and I drop it for 20, 30%, I'm going to continue for probably another year, year and a half till I completely reverse the whole damage. So there's no stopping at 5 months. But the study was done on 5 months only. I hope that answers your question, Chris. Oh, 100%. 100%. I would do the CIMT to get a good baseline. And we can actually say, okay, Alvin, so you have 30%. Let's start you on a protocol for 5 months. Let's see the results. And from there, we can actually kind of find out, okay, where we at and how much percentage we reduced. Because keep in mind, we have the substrate supplement to actually help reduce the plaque volume, the plaque, or prevent regression and reverse it. But at the same time, it doesn't mean we're going to go out and just eat whatever we want. We want to make sure the lifestyle is good, the diet is healthy, um, not too much processed food, seed oils, or other things that is actually being man-made. So we got to make sure we are following a good lifestyle. It's not just taking supplementation. The supplementation, they do one thing, the lifestyle will actually do other things. So everything has to be in good combination. But yes, getting a CIMT testing done first, get a baseline, and from there we can do another one in 5 or 6 months, and we can see where we at. Are there any independent studies done on this product? I will have to actually look into that, and I can get back to you. Who's asking me that question? Study, oh, Marcus? Study done on this product. Marcus. Okay, I'm gonna get back to you on that. Is this supplement in a liquid form or how is it taken? It is a liquid form, yes. So compared to Cavadex, Cavadex is enema. So this one here is all liquid form. No side effect. As I mentioned earlier in the presentation as well too, there's zero side effect. Yes, it is much better than the enema for sure, 100%. I agree with that, Alvin. Because I know, with the Cavadex, we've had a lot of people kind of didn't really like the idea of the enema and stuff, but at the end of the day, they wanted to actually kind of treat the issue. Some felt comfortable, some they didn't. I know somebody just joined us, Melody, I believe. I know we came close. You came close to the end of the session here. Would like more information on the protocol. Roy, I'm gonna write your name down and I'll send you some more information about the protocol and how it works. If it cleans my arteries, I will bear it. Sounds good. Sounds good. Me too, please. Please post your name. I know it's coming up under my name. We got Roy, Nikos. Okay, Nikos, I'll send you some information as well on the protocol and how it works. And I'll break it down exactly. I'll break it down for you guys for the full 5 months, what exactly is required cost-wise and everything to see if it actually fits in your budget and we can do it from there. Sorry, I had another meeting from my daughter. Is there a replay? I would love any information on the protocol. Melody, I'll send you the information on the protocol for sure. And what I'll do is once we publish the video on YouTube, I can send you the link to review the presentation that was missed. No worries. I want the info on the protocol as well. No problem. So let's see here. If there's no more question, guys, so what I'll do is I got everybody's name that are interested in actually reviewing the protocol, getting some pricing. I'll send you all that information by email. Let's all now go to the pub for a beer. Sounds good. Cheers to that. Sounds good. One last beer before we actually start on the protocol, right? I'm very interested. Thank you. I definitely want to review further with you. Awesome. Thanks again. Give Duke a pet for me. He's right beside me, actually. He's waiting for me. He wants to go for a walk, so he's all anxious. There he comes. He hears his name. Guys, I wanted to wish everybody I paid for a private session with you. Yes. We'll be probably talking soon. Guys, I wanted to thank everybody to actually that showed up today. I know we had actually close to more than 50 people, but for some reason, so moving forward as well, whenever we send the webinar, there always going to be a secondary email with the Zoom link. For some reason, maybe it went to a junk folder, which is my apologies in regards to that. But that said, hopefully we can catch more people down the road. In the meantime, you guys have a happy weekend, and we'll touch base and expect my email to be sent out to you guys sometimes today. I just have a couple appointments, and I'll send you the information from there. Again, thanks so much for showing up, and have an amazing day, guys. Take care.